And the page is Love's Passion. We're live.
You actually find yourself at the very, very top. That
We're almost live.
Who is that?
A 3 to 4 foot gap
Who is who?
between the top of the
I hear something playing.
other side.
Is that you? Oh,
You're 60 feet in the
that's
air.
me. Awesome. That is me. Ha! All right. Okay, so there's a commercial running. Okay, plug in my earpiece. Hello, everyone in Twitch world. Thank you. We are here. All right, so tonight's topic is, are you mental or premenstrual? So listen, this is something that's been close to my heart, and we have our special guest host here tonight. Our guest here tonight, which is Mr. Black Thigh. But we're gonna do some overhead and just talk about some things real quick. Our host, one of our hosts is running a little behind, and our other host had this amazing event this weekend and called Poetchella. So Miss Peanut Butter, she had the Poetchella in conjunction with several other partners, and it was an amazing event. We went as a vendor for the event. You all, if you have an opportunity to come and watch this, please do come see it next year. Same bat time, same bat place. So hold on, I'm sorry, I'm getting the echo. Do you hear that echo? Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm getting that echo.
Is it? Do I need to put my headphones on? Let me see.
Is it? Do I need to put my headphones on?
All right, try it now.
All right, I think that's a little bit better.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Okay, so please, if you are watching, if you are new to the stream, go ahead and share the stream. Like and share the stream. Again, my name is Love's Passion. I'm your residential sexologist. You can't hear me?
I can hear the echo.
You can hear me?
Can you hear the echo?
You hear the echo?
You hear that?
Yeah. You hear the echo? Hold on, look, we got our Hi Deb! Hold on, look, we got our
Hey.
we got a co-host. Hey Deb, how's it going?
Okay, how y'all doing?
Hi, Deb. I'm doing just
Look,
fine.
you know
How
how
about
it is.
yourself?
We have that
I'm good.
we have a little bit of a technical difficulty with our sound, so I'm trying to fix it.
Okay.
So it looks like it's on a little bit of a delay. Okay. All right. So again, this topic is near and dear to my heart. I've been really wanting to talk about this topic for a long time. Thank you guys for in Twitch land and Facebook and YouTube that are watching here today. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this post. If you would like to join in on the conversation, I'm going to put the link to join in as a video guest in our comments. So just please go ahead and click on that. All right, and this is Love's Passions Chat, where we talk about issues that plague our community as far as sexuality issues. There's no longer sex education in the schools, so we are filling a gap. So we do concentrate on positive sex topics here. This topic is not for 18 years or under. So do remember, this is adults only.
I think this would be a strength check on Bob's part.
Got an echo.
I think that's me. Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. All right. Hey, technical difficulties. That's what we do best.
Yeah. You know, I always say life requires maintenance.
Isn't that the
That's what it
truth?
is.
It's the truth.
You have to be
did,
able to
did,
troubleshoot. That's like
right. Right.
Okay, I think I'm
spontaneity,
okay.
you know.
I think we have double. We have some double speak.
Are you hearing an echo with me?
I don't.
No. Mm, wait, I'm hearing double.
Do I sound country enough for you?
Hello. Does that work?
I don't hear an echo anymore.
I don't
That's your
even.
echo. Let's see. How do we fix this last time? Let's see. How do we fix this last time?
Now I hear an echo.
Excuse me.
Now I hear that though.
Yeah, me too, Qua. Everybody has a double echo. I'm trying to figure out how to fix this. Let's see. Do you still hear the double echo? Do you still hear the double echo? Still a double echo. Let me do this then.
If it's any consolation, I kind of like the double echo.
Oh Lord, what is life without the double echo? Oh Lord, what is life without the double echo? Let's try that again. Is there a double echo? Let's try that again. Is there a
Do
double
you
echo?
have your do you have like your speaker on so you can hear your voice or something?
Do you have like your speaker on so you can hear them
If
voice or
so,
something?
turn that down.
Yeah, mine's
If
is
so,
down.
turn that down.
Yeah, mine's is
You,
down.
you, so you don't have your speaker on where you can hear yourself.
Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
you don't have your speaker on where you can hear yourself.
Mm-mm. Hmm. Let's see. How to unmute it.
Okay. How about the
Are you logged on to Twitch and through StreamYard?
Okay, what about now? Can y'all say something?
Yeah. I I
I
don't
don't
hear
hear
it.
the double echo.
I don't hear it either.
Yes.
Yes. Look, and it was only 11 minutes.
11 minutes
I'm telling you.
in. Progress. Growth.
Look, I'm gonna have to dance. Y'all just don't even understand. Look, look, Black Tie, you don't even understand. We do this every week, and every week is something new. This is that Twitch be
Hey,
twitching, and we be twitching right along
that's
with it.
cool. That's cool. That's cool. You know, that lets us know that, hey, man, look, we are alive. Thankful to be alive, to be able to experience these
Twitchy
troubles
moment.
that we're going through. These, yeah,
Growing
you know,
pains.
and it's even more of a blessing to be able to resolve it.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
I love the
Okay, so
optimism.
let's go back to our disclaimer. This is an adult show for adults only. These are adult topics. I am your resident sexologist and life coach. I loves passion. Thank you for joining us here on Twitch. Please like, share, and repost. This is also streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're on any of those platforms, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. Please feel free to comment or post your concerns or questions. We will be asking the panel as well as our listeners questions to participate later. So, woohoo for those. I'm going to introduce our co-host, which is Miss Deb. Miss Deb, how's it going?
Hi, everybody. It's going great. It's been a
What
lazy
you been up to this
Sunday.
week?
I had an event last night, and I didn't go to bed till 4 a.m. this morning, so I just been pretty much chilling all day. So,
Oh
yeah.
wow! Tell us a little bit. Tell tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
My name is Deb. I'm 46. I am a mother of one beautiful daughter. I am an event supervisor, and you know, I've had an interesting life, and I just like to share and grow from it. So,
Awesome. So tonight we also have Mr. Black Thigh. Can you tell us a little bit of about yourself, Mr. Black Thigh, and introduce yourself to our
Yeah.
chatters?
Right on. My name is Yacha Black Tie. I was born in Bangkok, Thailand. If you wondering where that came from. Um, but yeah, so I'm an insurance professional, a realtor. Let's just say I'm a business professional. Uh, I I I'm I play a role in many different facets of business, and I'm also into motivating people, and just always being positive, and trying to give as much as I can to our community. um, yeah, this is what I do. Thank you for having me
Awesome.
on.
Awesome. We're glad that you're here because you are the reason for this topic. So, tonight's topic again is, are you mental or premenstrual? I saw a hey, good evening, Kimmy D13. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're ready for this topic. I saw a Facebook post that you did. Um, tell us, wait, I'm gonna go back because you didn't tell us what makes you an expert on this topic. Can you tell us what makes you a man, an expert on this topic?
Sure. So I've been with my wife for 27 years, and when we first moved in together, we moved in together about 2 years after meeting. And so, when we first moved in together, they say you don't know a person until you live with them. So, of course, we're two kind of strangers because we're starting to live together. Um, and so once a month, my wife would get into this furious rage. And
It was
I it
serious.
was it always threw me for a loop. Yes, I'm describing it to the T. Um, but yeah, it would always it would always throw me for a loop. And and so, you know, I'm strong on being the man of the house.
Mm,
And being the man of the house doesn't always consist of getting rid of something or ridding myself of something or
mm.
walking away. You know, I've always taken the long road. I never take the easy road. And so I said, man, I have to figure this out. In this rage every month. Um, it's because I'm the baby of six boys.
Uh,
The story
so basically,
of
it was getting,
PMS is, Huh?
Basically, you were getting it, right? You were getting it
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, and so the story of PMS has always been it wasn't even taboo. It was a myth. It was a joke,
Mm-hmm.
and so I started considering it. Like maybe this is the PMS that led to the jokes,
Mm.
and so I made her aware of what was going on. And the reason I made her aware is because I'm big on us coming from a place of oppression and our elders not having the wherewithal nor the knowledge to teach us about formal ways of living, or you know the the educated definition of these types of things. And so I started, like I said, once I made her aware of it, she started to become aware of it. And so once a month, instead of us getting into a fight, now she would come to me and say, "Hey, I'm having that feeling. I'm having this burning desire to slap the shit out of you, and you know, and I don't know where it's coming from." so, so, but yes, our arguments turned into laughter. It turned
Mm.
into us being able to discuss it and not fighting, and me not being frustrated. And and see, her parents weren't able to teach her about.
Uh-oh, he
Yeah.
froze. That
Come
was getting
back.
good. I know,
what
right?
to what Yeah, because they didn't know. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I'm back. But
Okay.
yeah, they didn't know, and so they didn't know what to tell her. They never told her that, hey, you may have bad PMS. You better look out. Warn your friends.
Mm.
They weren't able to say that. So once again, I'm big on the elders learning from the youth, because the elders, like I said, the elders weren't able to have the type of educational discussions nor the information, the readily available information that we have now. Just like kids now, they have all of the world's information in the palm of their hands. We didn't have that. And so,
Mm.
so when I brought it to her attention, it made our relationship 110% better. And so now I'm the father of three girls, and with my youngest being uh, with my youngest being 15. Now I've been able to have the PMS conversation with my daughters, and and now they're able to uh, catch themselves,
Mm.
because they definitely share that that furious raging gene that the mother has, um, um, with PMS. And not only am I able to help them notice what they're having, but um, I'm also able to able to have that discussion with their boyfriends when they bring their boyfriends around. And it sounds kind of like a weird conversation, um, for them, for everyone involved, actually, but uh, I stay serious in it because it could actually save you an ass whooping, or save one of us from getting hurt.
Mm,
Because if you react to my daughters in in a negative way, you know, I can understand you not being aware of why she's behaving this way.
right.
But now that I've had the conversation with you, there's no there's no excuse. So it's a very important discussion that I think a lot of people need to have, and I'm very thankful that I was able to recognize, and not just recognize what was going on, but having the wherewithal and the desire to want to fix it. And so,
Right.
Aretha, I thank you for having me on this show, being able to discuss this, because as much as us as black men fail as being men, I think this is one of the topics that would definitely help not just our community, but men in whole to be better men. Um, Not only just to recognize PMS, but to stand in there.
Right, right. And you know what? You said a whole mouthful, because the menstrual cycle is not just a woman's cycle. It's a cycle that her family goes on with her.
It's not.
And right. So and I
Right.
appreciate greatly your post, because I was all loving and sharing that, because I was like, what, other people need to see this, because I think you titled it my menstrual cycle. And I was kind of throwing. I was like, wait a minute, well, men do have menstrual cycles, but I was trying to see if you really were having a menstrual cycle moment. But what you said was so profound. You being a father, and I say this with the utmost respect, you are a great father. You're a great grandfather. You're a great father-in-law. Because I watch all your stuff. And I'm like, look at him. I wish he was my daddy. His daughters are beautiful. His grandson is gorgeous. So I'm
Thank you.
like, they are blessed to have a man like you to instill things in their lives, that most men and women do not even contemplate. And
Yeah.
the fact that you took out the time to say, I'm a part of your journey in these menstrual cycles. Let me understand it with you. Let's understand it
Right.
together. Let's work through it together. A
Yeah.
lot of people in general do not do that, because women as well do not do that. There's this thing
Right.
where women in a household, they sync up, and when for their cycles they sync up,
Yeah.
but it in
That's
that,
right.
the mental part of it syncs up too. So when you angry, she angry.
Right.
If you don't recognize that this is a part of
Yes.
our menstrual cycle, this is going to start this clash of heads. And that's probably one of the things why
Hmm.
people say that, black women can't live together. Just won't happen. When a daughter gets older, she got to go, because them that cycle, if you understood the
Hmm.
cycle, and it's not just
Hmm.
me being evil, but
Hmm.
it is the hormonal effects in
Hmm.
my body that's causing me to react to
Yeah.
you in another negative manner, and we're both
Right.
in this negative space.
Right. Right.
Let's center ourselves and understand that we don't mean what we're saying, or the things that are coming in
Right.
my head, I
Right.
say right off the bat. And
Right.
again, with
Right.
your
Right.
post, it was absolutely jaw dropping that it was coming from a man. I mean, you're a good
Thank you.
man. You're a good man. You're a great man.
Yeah.
Shout outs to your wife and your
Yeah.
children.
Thank
Y'all got children right there. Okay. Because you were so in tune.
Yeah.
I could have saved that video. I didn't save it because I would play it for everyone, but you were so in tune to what was happening in your household, being the only man in the household. um you know you were in tune, you were tuned in, and you checked in. You didn't check out and say, oh man,
That's
I'm
right.
finna go get me a hotel because all
That's
six of
right.
these people, these females in this house going insane, I'm finna back out.
That's
You
right.
became
Yeah.
that catalyst that they needed
Yeah.
to start
That's right.
seeing the issues.
Yeah.
That
That's
leads us
right.
to right. that leads us to understanding the menstrual cycle and understanding that you're not mental. The menstrual cycle is 28 days. There are 30, 31, and 28 days in a month. Some people go 21 to 25, 20 to 35 days. Those are the unlucky ones because your menstrual cycle is a part of your life. And if you don't understand that menstrual cycle and how that cycle is affecting your mental stability, your
Mm-hmm.
hormones, your passion for life, the things
Mm-hmm.
you love. It is not you who you
Mm-hmm.
are. It's a part of who you are,
Yeah.
but it is not who you are. And
Yeah.
understanding the menstrual cycle will help you
Mm-hmm.
understand your life a little bit better. As a female, as a male, like you said, you talk to your wife and like, hey, she's telling you, I want to pull your head off and throw you across the room. You left that sock on
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
That sock don't need to be
Yeah.
there. But it wasn't that. It wasn't a big deal or an issue. But if she wasn't in
Right.
that cycle of that moment where her hormones were clashing and she was getting ready to, go through that part of her cycle, if she didn't recognize that, that could have been something different. Um, I believe
Right.
that understanding the menstrual cycle, understanding what that cycle does to you, and what happens to you during that moment is very, very important, as well as for men to understand, that when your woman is going, or your children, your daughters are going through this menstrual cycle,
Mm-hmm.
no one is teaching, hey,
Oh man.
this is what happens on your menstrual cycle. This is the things that are happening in your body. All they
Yeah.
know is they're angry. They're angry, they're sad, they're emotional,
Right.
and it's hitting triggers, and they're watching the Lifetime movie, crying, eating some chocolate and pickles, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
understand,
Mm-hmm.
just thinking this is who I am. No, it's not
Right.
who you are. It's a part of who you are. For this
Right.
moment in time, that's who you are.
Right.
What about you, Miss Deb? I know you have a beautiful daughter. How do you think that's resonating with you in your life?
Um, well, I when he was talking, I went back in my mind to a moment that I had with my daughter when she was an adolescent, and I walked into her room one day and she was just in tears, and I was like, "Well, baby, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And she said,
I don't
"I
know.
don't know." And exactly, and I just sat down in the floor with her and I hugged her and I said, "You don't have to know. I get it. I understand where you are." I said, "Just go ahead, and cry, and what I appreciate about this story is, instead of you saying, 'Oh, they're just crazy women,' you took the time to understand another
Mm,
facet of a woman, and I also think it's great that you take the time to educate her boyfriends, because she's not just being a bitch. She's and I mean women in general, not your daughter, but we're not
Right.
just
Right.
being
No. No. I
bitchy.
understand.
We're just saying it's
Yeah.
just something that we go through, and if we could control it, trust me, we would,
mm,
so
mm,
I
Right.
just
mm.
remember referring back to that in my mind with my daughter, and and as a woman, totally getting where she is, um and I think I can always tell when she's in that space. And so there have been times when I've wanted to be, I've gotten upset with her because of her attitude, but I just give her space. I don't take it personal, and I give her
Right.
her space, you know.
Right,
So I
Right.
try to
right.
understand her instead of, being combative and, starting another fight with her. I just get out of her way.
And
Same here. And same her
with
with me.
young girls, yeah, with young girls, and as a parent, it's a continuous conversation. It's not just something that I bring up one day, or every now and then. It's a continuous thing. Um,
Right.
and the one reason I say that is because my girls are sweet. including my wife. She's sweet as pie. And so once they get into this this PMS, and instead of me getting frustrated, and see, here's the crazy part. Like I said, I'm the baby of six boys, and so
Mm.
um, um, estrogen or sensitivity, or
Mm-hmm.
cuddling up and all that, it just was not a part of my household. and
Right.
and the first thing that comes to my mind when my girls are attacking me and my wife is attacking me is, I'm finna bust some heads. But you know with with having girls, I I had to. And see, my dad wasn't always there for me, and I
Mm.
didn't want to be like my dad, nor did I want to be like the stereotypical black man, who hits on his wife, who beats on his girls, or uh, who turns to drinking or turns to smoking, or anything but healing or finding out what's wrong with our family. Let me say, realizing what's wrong with our families, and
Right.
then healing our families, doing something about it rather, and healing our families, because doing something about it is care, and
Mm.
care is what molds our family into what we want it to be. It may not be perfect, it may not be exactly what you want, it may not be exactly what you expect, but however, there is something that you are doing about your family. So
Right.
as a man, I wanted to do this, for not only for myself but for my family, and not just for my family. I wanted to be able to be on a platform and talk to other men about this, because this conversation isn't being had in the black household. Um,
Exactly.
so you know, uh, ignorance leads to misunderstanding.
Mm.
Misunderstanding leads to frustration. Frustration leads to anger. Anger leads to violence. So if we can get this conversation going in the black family,
Right.
it may play a major role in keeping the black family together. Um,
Yeah.
because you know it's big. It's a big deal. It's a big
Yes, it
deal,
is.
and
It is.
yeah, I want to be
It
able
is.
to do something about it.
Right. And I think you're doing an amazing job. Just, I don't know if you went to therapy and the therapist told you that, or this came, you
Ah,
preached it out the air, but whatever it was, kudos for you in implementing
say,
it.
let me tell you
You
this, man. Let me tell you this. I'm a big believer that God has given us everything we need to survive. He's given us everything we need to do to be stupendous.
Hmm.
right.
You have all the
And
tools.
so
You already
I
possess
just
all the
dug.
tools you
Yes,
need for your
exactly.
life. Yep.
I just chose to dig into a part of me that I had never dug into before.
Hmm.
That's it.
Mm.
That's all
I
I
have a
That's
do.
question
That's
for
all I
you.
do, man.
I have a question for you. So, since the topic today is about mental versus menstrual, so it sounds like to me that you have a level of tolerance for premenstrual cycles and emotions. So, if you how's your tolerance for the rest of the month? Because what is it when you get attitude when it's not that time of the month?
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, that that comes down to respecting everybody's level. So everybody's level, not and everyone's level is different. So and perception. So
Mm,
always remember that perception is reality.
right.
So whatever your perception is, because these things need to be they need to be confronted. So whatever the situation is, we need to talk about it. I need to come to you respectfully. I need to respect your perception because whatever your perception is, I need to be I need to be respectful of it. Not that I agree with it, but I need to
Mm-hmm.
be respectful of it. And
So you're open
so,
minded very
you
much.
know, if I
Right.
come, yeah, yeah, you got to be open minded. And then, I can do something in a way that you perceived it was totally not the way I gave it. So
Right.
it's always two ways. One is how it's given, and the second is how it is received.
You are exactly right. You are
Right.
exactly right. Thank you for
Yeah. So
joining us
and
on our
both of those
topic.
have to be respected.
Right. I want to say thank you for joining everyone that's in the chat. Thank you, Guy Talk Unhinged. I see you, Brown Eye 777. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining in. Hey, Janae Raylan. Thank you, guys. Remember to like, share, and comment as you please on this topic. Again, we're talking about tonight, are you mental? Are you premenstrual? We have our beautiful co host, Deb, and our amazing guest host, Mr. Blacktop. Tonight, we are visiting the concept of that menstrual period, that menstrual um, world where it's supposed to only live where women only live and men only come to visit and run away. So we have Mr. Black Todd, and he has really given us something to digest that in this topic really played a part in his marriage and in his understanding his daughters and understanding, it's not them. It is just that their menstrual cycle is a part of them, but it is not who they are. And when that time of the month came around, he was able to work with them and coach them. That's what a great dad does. And I'm just gonna put that little plug out there. That's what a great dad does. A great father does. He plugs in, not runs away. He dug in and he was invested in the conversation of let me educate you, let me get educated on what's happening, so I can understand you, you can understand me,
Exactly.
and
Exactly. Thank you.
exactly. And that was a pivotal part. So I'm going to go through some things that happen during the premenstrual cycle. As we said, the premenstrual cycle is 28 days average and 21 to 35 days on an average. So this is something that you're dealing with for the majority of your life as a female. And most females come into their cycle at the preteen ages. Just think about that on how, they're not digesting or no one's talking to them. I don't know about you all, but I know that there's no sex ed in the schools, and most parents don't talk to their daughters about what's happening in your body. Yes, you got your menstrual cycle. Let's go get you some pads. Let's go get you some tampons. And at the most, they'll show you how to use it, but that's the end of the discussion. So the
Right.
discussion tonight is to dissect it and go deeper into it than what you need during your cycle, but what's happening to your body during your cycle. All right. So some of the common elements of a premenstrual cycle is back pain, diarrhea, constipation, headaches, nausea, abdominal bloating, acne, sensitive breast, fatigue, abdominal pain, increased appetite, insomnia, just to name a few. There are some others that are specific to other people, but these are some of the common um, issues with the premenstrual cycle. Now, that's a whole lot, to go through in stages throughout your month, and understanding that having someone that understands that when you're embarking on a relationship, not to mention the other stresses of your lives. Let's see. Hello. Okay. Thank you. I'm just wanting to say hi and happy Sunday to you two brown eyes. Um, Again, this is Twitch, so we are a follow community. So if you're not following the other chatters and DJs in our stream, do go ahead and follow them, like their pages. Twitch is an excellent platform for you to get to know a friend, and see some amazing DJs and get some Dr. Guy Talk on Hinge. She is an amazing streamer, and she streams for mental health. So please follow her, but follow everyone in the chat. Say hello and make a new friend. Please also like this page and share and comment. Okay, so we're going back to some of the typical things that most women experience during the course of 28 days to 21 to 35 days. This is a lot. You're not even pregnant, and all of this is happening to you. Can you imagine dealing with these symptoms at 12 or 11 and not understanding why you're dealing with them, not understanding that this is happening to you and it's not who you are, because you're at that preteen age where you're in elementary school basically. And this is that age where everyone says, girls are terrible. And it really isn't them that is making them terrible. It's the misunderstanding of themselves. Black Tide, have you seen this in your life with your girls? Oh, I think he's frozen. Is he frozen?
You cut out on me. Can
Yeah,
you say that again?
Okay, I was asking, with all of the symptoms that are just generically put in for PMS, have you seen this resonate with your daughters at the young, immature age of 11, 12, whenever they, produce their first menstrual cycle?
Have I seen what?
Them with back pain, diarrhea, constipation, headaches, nausea,
Oh
abdominal
yeah.
bloat,
Oh yes,
those
yes,
symptoms, all of those symptoms,
yes,
and they not
yes,
know why.
yes.
Because we're looking at it from a
Right,
point of a preteen, and they want to be accepted. They're moving in the
right,
realm of, I'm about to go to high
right,
school. I'm preteen. I like
right,
boys. Um, and Jesus, my
right,
boobs are hurting, or Jesus, my back hurting. Oh,
right.
I just got my cycle in the middle of gym
Yeah,
class. The
right.
psyche that plays on them. Not
So
to mention
right.
the hormonal
So
responses that are happening to them. Um, this in just
right,
in being
right.
a grown woman would be hard to digest. So
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
know that you've
Hmm.
experienced it firsthand. I have as well. I have grown
Yeah.
daughters, so yes,
Yeah.
I've experienced this to
Yeah.
no unend.
You
So um, this is
you
what
know
makes
what?
this conversation very necessary.
You know what? Let me say this. So I pride myself on understanding women. Uh, reason being because I love women. I I love women, and I love my wife. I love my daughters, and once again, me being the baby of six boys, it was very the woman's body and living was very intriguing to me. And
Mm,
so what I realized is that you know going back to the Bible and going back to the Bible, women were designed to have labor, to go through
mm,
labor. Um, um, and the woman's body and chemistry is something that is necessarily changing, constantly
Right.
changing.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so yeah, and the psyche to have to
Mm.
deal with something like that, it has to be something of a natural design to have to withstand something like that. And that's why
Yeah.
as men, we aren't designed like that. That's why when we get sick or we get hurt, we burst out in tears and we crying like
Like
we
a baby.
2-year-old kids, you know. But yeah, but we aren't naturally designed to withstand these types of changes. And
Right.
so to have watched women go through these changes, you know, I so we take care of my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law has been with us. She's about to be 70 years old. And so anyway, and we once, you know, once my mother once lived with us also, and she's almost 80. And so anyway, I've watched these women change and gain their PMS, and also go through
Pause.
what do you call it?
Menopause.
Menopause.
Menopause. Yeah, and it was a very um
That's a
Scary.
whole
fearful
other
thing to
beast.
have to go through, you know,
Oh
and
yeah.
so uh to see those changes, you know, physically and mentally, was really something that was more than just a joke, but it needed to be discussed. And like I said, you know, as a child, it's always been a joke, and it still is something that we can
Mm-hmm.
joke about because you know women they do have the strength to withstand it.
Yes.
However,
I
uh, it is a it is a very uh, hard
scary.
watch. You know, yeah. I mean, it's a hard watch. You know, to watch you
Uh,
women go through these things. I mean, even you know, a lot of the women I know have had the cyst on their ovaries, which is a very common thing, but
right.
it's tough. It's tough to watch women have their hysterectomies and go through those pains, you know, before they realize that they need to have those things removed. Um, so yeah, yes, yeah.
Oh
To
yeah.
answer the question,
Hey,
yes.
look. Yes. Look, the answer is always yes. So Brown Eyes 777 says, I have an employee who can tell when it's close to her menstrual cycle. She's very irritable and mad at the world. Yes.
Mhm.
You know, your cycle is preparing your body for a baby. And that's generally that is what your menstrual cycle is doing. It's
Mhm.
it goes through 4 stages, which is the menstruation, the follicular phase, the ovulation stage, and then the luteal phase. So in that latter part, when your body realizes that, hey, there's no baby coming up in here, I'm mad. I'm finna send off every hormone. I'm gonna take this egg that I done dispelled from my ovaries and from your ovaries, and I'm finna throw it at you, and I'm finna give you every hormonal imbalance that you could possibly think about. You know, you got your estrogen, you got your serotonin, they're all firing at the same time. You got your dopamines that are going, and it is a fireworks show. If it was a movie, it would be that movie with the cartoon movie about what's going on in people's head when something happens. Like, oh, alert, 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 incoming. But
Yeah,
that's what your
yeah.
menstrual cycle is processed to do. You know, your body gets angry at you, basically, that you didn't fertilize that egg that it had so generously prepared for you, and now it's going to dispel from your body with all force of life and God, because you remember
Mhm.
that baby is supposed to grow to be 8 pounds, 6 pounds, something that's supposed to come out. And you're like, well, shoot, if you're not gonna shoot it out at me, if you're not gonna fertilize it so it can grow to that, I'm gonna put you through the worstest thing you could ever do. I'm going to bleed out. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna bleed out, basically. So having a menstrual cycle is no joke. It is not something to be taken lightly. It is something that we need to constantly talk about with every young woman that we see, and young men, to get them to understand, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
she
I'm
just cut
in.
you out, but
Hmm.
she might be having a bad day.
Yeah.
Let's not say that that's just who she is. Not the, and then people are the angry black
Right.
woman or the angry Hispanic woman. She's just going
Right.
through
Right.
something. Her
Hmm.
body is doing something that men cannot do. Let's reverence that, because without that there is no us. And in understanding that cycle in life,
Yeah.
that's something that is a part of life. That is going to constantly repeat itself
Hmm.
over and over again. And when you get to
Hmm.
your elder stage, you go through menopause. And Brown Eye 77 says menopause is a serious game changer. It affects some women mentally and physically. And you think
Hmm.
about that. They've gone from, most women start menopause at around 50. If they started their cycle at 12 and then they just figured it out, and now they're learning their bodies probably at 30, because nobody's teaching them this. You got 20 years to get, okay, I'm in the rule.
Right.
It's like running a race,
Yeah.
and you got comfortable in
Yeah.
your stride. And then all of a sudden your body says, no,
It's some women.
we go
It's
back.
some women out there that it's some women that are prisoners to their cycles. They can't
Yes.
do anything. They
Yes.
can't go on vacations. They can't.
Right.
They sometimes they have to call in to work. They can't go out with friends. So I get it.
Right. And I believe that if they learn their body, learn their cycles, learn what helps, what does not help, it's a taboo subject, but sex during a menstrual cycle helps to decrease the cycle length. Also, the sex during it is more enjoyable, because it does have that lube. I know it's an icky thing, but it has been studied and
Yeah,
found that, hey,
it's
this
dirty.
is a natural.
It's
It is
ugly.
the dirty.
You
But
like you in there killing somebody.
hey, if you're having sex while you have a baby and I'm just saying it, that baby is closer to that than that egg that's up in them ovaries. I'm just saying. But so sex does help alleviate the length, and the what do you call it? Not the thickness, the length and the strongness of the cycles. Masturbating also helps to prevent the length and the duration of the cycles. Now, women, we don't talk to each other. We don't talk to our daughters about, hey, yeah, let me go in here and teach you how to masturbate. It's going to be the best thing that saves your life, but we should. Those conversations are being not had because we're not teaching them the benefits of an orgasm. We're not teaching them, there are multiple benefits other than, okay, yeah, it feels great and you're not gonna get pregnant. You know, we're not teaching them that. We're teaching them, hey, throw this pad on, keep quiet, don't wear white. What else is there? The hormonal effects that are going to affect your pH, that's going to make you smell a different way, how to make your breast not hurt so much during the cycle, what type of clothing to wear, what foods to eat. There is a whole conversation that's not being had that needs to be had. I'm going to ask the audience, what are some of the things that you use to alleviate the symptoms of PMS? If you just put it in the chat, I'll read it out. If I haven't, and I'm pretty sure masturbating and sex during menstrual cycle is something not high on everyone's list. But what other things do you use that help you to alleviate the symptoms of PMS, as for yourself, just in your personal life? Just put it in the chat. Also, other things that you have found to alleviate some of the PMS or the premenstrual syndrome, um, characters. What types of things have you noticed that have helped with you in your life, Deb?
Well, I was kind of one thing I wanted to say with that is you kind of educated me. I think some conversations aren't being had because we don't know these things. So, like you saying, sex shortens your cycle, or an orgasm, alleviates certain things. I mean, I've never been told that, and I'm a woman, so and I mean, because most of the time I just deal with it and take some Tylenol, you know. So, but now, that I'm older, I know the importance of maybe exercise, or meditating, or yoga, or stuff
Mhm.
like that, to help you get through, those difficult times. But I think some conversations just aren't being had because we don't know. I mean, and what are these foods you're speaking of?
Things that are not high in salt,
Hmm.
because salt helps keep the water weight gain on, and during your menstrual cycle you're storing water. You
Hmm.
can be the smallest person, but you'll feel bloated. That's that bloated feeling. Things
Hmm.
that are fried foods, greasy foods, you want to minimize those during your menstrual cycle so that you don't feel. You're still going to feel it. I'm not going to say it's go away 100%, but you won't feel as bloated. You won't retain as much water. There is premenstrual acne. I know everybody knows what I'm talking about, because you get that one pimple that comes back in the same place. Oh, you get it? Yeah, okay.
I'm trying. No, I'm saying I'm waving by. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining our stream.
No problem.
Everyone, say
Bye,
goodbye to
Deb.
Black Tide. Thank you. It's been amazing. I appreciate you hanging in here with us. You've been a
Thank you
great
for having me.
uh, guest. Thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you so much. Y'all do the same. Bye.
All right. All right. Okay. So, Deb, going back to things you shouldn't eat. It's the things you shouldn't eat is the things you're going to probably crave, because those cravings get out of control.
Mm.
Every woman
Oh yeah.
wants the chocolate, and chocolate is the thing that you finna show me your chocolate. Chocolate is the thing that brings about acne, the absolute, oh God, the absolute most. But we crave those things, and you shouldn't deny your body those things. So, hey, just understand that you'll get that pimple, that acne pimple, and uh, it'll be okay. It's not the end of the world.
And speaking of acne, like I remember in the seventh grade, this guy named Lawrence. I won't say your last name, sir, but every month I would break out right here. And this boy, Lawrence, he tortured me. He made fun of me every month when I broke out from my period. I
He
wanted
just
to push him down.
He just liked you. He just liked you. That's all.
Hmm.
He wasn't. He just liked you. You a whole lot. That's why he was messing with you. That's so perfect. The only thing he could find no wrong on you was that he a mess pimple. But what he didn't know was you was gonna be a raging animal if you mess with him anymore. All right. So so we've covered acne. You need to drink a lot of water. Even though you will retain most of it, but it helps to replenish the system. Um, your hormones are fueled. The catalyst is water, because your body is mostly water. The catalyst is water, so you do need to keep recycling that water, so that your pH balance doesn't get thrown off. Because during your cycle, it will get thrown off, and you will have those smells if you're not diligently changing your items for your cycle. You will generate the smells, and you don't want to do that. So you want to drink lots of water. You want to stock up on the items that you use for your menstrual cycle, so that if you do have an aha moment, it won't be as stressful. Stress is also a leading cause of the things that the symptoms that you will have during your menstrual cycle. So you want to try to keep stress down, like Deb said. You want to meditate, do some yoga. Rigorous exercise is stressful. So you don't want to do that while you're on your menstrual cycle or premenstrual, because that type of thing will agitate your symptoms. But it's also important to know that when you're going through certain cycles of your premenstrual syndrome, of your premenstrual cycle, because if you, the more you know, the more you go. But so it's 28 days, and only 3 to 5 of those days are you in a dispulsory menstrual cycle where you know you are menstrual. But you have the ovulation moment cycle where your body is ready to have a baby. The egg is sitting there waiting to be fertilized. Your hormones are going absolutely wild. At this time is when a lot of people make a lot of mistakes because they don't differentiate between I'm hormonal and maybe I just need to go and get me a toy and jack off a little bit so that I don't make the wrong decision before I go on this date. You know, this is, when you're ovulating, it's sort of like a dog in heat. Unfortunately, that's where that term came from. When a dog is in heat, she's tooting her butt up into every male's face. Don't matter. She don't like them. Ain't never talked to them. She's tooting that tail up, swishing it to the side, and waiting for penetration because she is ready to produce a baby. She has an egg sitting there ready to produce a baby. So if you find yourself hormonal to the tune of horny, check yourself. You also need to have a app that times your cycles, so that what's the cutoff, when am I actually premenstrual and not mental.
Mhm.
When are my thoughts my own and not being by the chemical imbalance in my body.
Mhm.
So you want to have an app that you use on a regular basis to know your body, to get to know your body. My age, I don't know about you, Deb, but in my age, we didn't have an app. Darn near barely had a calendar that you would keep up with, not at that age.
Right.
But you want having a phone now, it's very easy to track your cycles, and to know when you're premenstrual.
Mhm.
And to know the cycle that you're in when you're premenstrual. It'll help your whole life. I swear by it. You go to work and it's that time that, okay, I'm finna be in my feelings today. It's not them, it's me.
Right.
So let me watch what I say. Let me watch what I do. A lot of people get fired on their cycle. A whole lot of them get fired on that cycle. So you want to make sure that you know yourself, that you're doing everything else within your power to know yourself and know how your body makeup is going, because the same hormones that you're exhibiting through sex, during sex, the dopamines, the serotonin, the estrogen, all of those are firing, and they're firing out of control. They're firing at unknown levels, and you have nowhere for them to dispel. So they're internally attacking you because they don't have anywhere to go other than out. So it is an angry session. It is a very, very angry session. I know I asked the guest, what do you do to alleviate premenstrual syndromes, or premenstrual symptoms? But what do you do, Deb? And I'll tell you some of mine.
Well, I mean, literally, I said what I did. It was usually rest and some pain reliever, until I got older. Uh,
Mm.
and I was in more control of my emotions. So I really didn't, I really wasn't given I mean, literally, there's some things you said today that I've heard for the first time.
Mm. Well,
So
I'm glad that I got somebody who
yeah.
learned something. That is my goal in life, is to educate about sex, sexuality, your body, your life. Okay? So pass that on though. Don't
Oh
hold it.
yeah, no
Pass it
doubt.
on. That's where this information is great, but you need to keep it fluid and keep it going. Let tell somebody to tell somebody, because the things that we don't know as women about our own body, it will fill a country. Okay. And we've lived in these bodies all of our lives and never took the time to get to know these bodies.
Hmm.
Um, but as far
Because
as
some of us are so missing out because we don't know, and we don't want to talk about it, or we're ashamed to talk about it. That's why I love doing this so much with you. Because I'm almost kind of like black tie. I'm so open um, to all the information and all of the ideas, and I'm just really a firm believer in I'm never alone. Whatever I don't know, I know someone else doesn't too.
oh
So I just,
right,
I'm your sponge. I'm listening.
you are out. Look, I'm an open book, and I'm willing to share sex topics, sex talk, sex tricks. And sex is not something that you just do in a moment. Let me explain that, because I keep saying I'm gonna talk about sex. I'm not gonna sit around here and talk to you about intercourse, but I will talk to you about sex, because sex is a fluid conversation that's had every day of your life, 24 hours, 365 days of your life. It's something that is happening when you wake up to when you go to bed. Sex is something uh, that happens as a mental state. For women, it's all mental. And if you waking up making love and you're going to bed making love, the intercourse part will happen and it will be great. Sex is something that we do when we're doing our hair, when we're doing our makeup, when we're doing, putting on that nice dress, the lipstick that, putting on our face for the first time. It is to be sexually attracted to ourselves, not to anyone else, but you're trying to please yourself in your femininity. It is something that is not discussed as to, oh, I just like to look good. Why? Why do you like to look good? What is the purpose? It just makes me feel good. You know why? Because when you get dressed up, that serotonin level goes up. You walk a little bit different. You talk a little bit different. You speak a little bit different. You have a little bit more confidence. You know, so in your sexuality, it is a fluid conversation, from the dresses you like, from the men you like, from the jobs you pick. They fit your sexual preference. But I'm going to get off of that because that's a whole nother show.
Hmm.
We are talking about menstrual or mental. Okay, so some other things that you can do to alleviate the symptoms of the premenstrual syndrome. First is know yourself, know when it's coming, know what cycle you're in. There's 4 stages. Just know what cycle you're in, and that'll help about 90% of the problems.
Right.
You'll be able to prepare for the next cycle. You know what is happening, so you'll know what's to come. Cramps. For cramps, I can say that you could use the what is it? The warming bags, the hot towels, the hot the back warmers. You can use those.
Heating
The hand
pads, all that stuff.
Right. Heating pads, yes. The
Mhm.
hand warmers. So you should, as a woman, you should always have a hand warmer in your purse. If you are a premenstrual woman and you have really, really bad cramps, because they don't wait for you. And medicine internally ingested, it does not hit the problem, the point right then. Just like Black Tie said, some women, they are prisoners to it because they've not prepared for it. You don't have to be a prisoner to your body if you know your body and hey, when my cycle's about to come on, I'm going to cramp. Let me bring a hand warmer and I'm going to put it in the spot that it's cramping. That helps relieve 10% of the problem. If you want true relief from it, I always suggest what I suggest. What you think I suggest?
An orgasm.
There you go. Orgasms help with all pains and throughout the whole body because it redirects that thought process and that those neural pathways that are going to your brain saying that you're in pain, and it redirects and lets go of those thoughts as well as those hormones that I'm sorry, not those hormones, those triggers, those pain triggers, and it helps you relax. I know you've heard the story about, people who get into car accidents and they were drunk out of this world, but they, arrived unscathed because they were comfortable, because they were relaxed. And that's how most people get really, really hurt is when you see something coming, it's,
brace yourself.
Brace, right. So an orgasm is the same process, just without these side effects. No babies, no DWIs. Some drink wine, when they're on their menstrual cycle, just to alleviate the pain. All you have to do, take your favorite toy or your nice little finger and go to town. But that's a part of knowing yourself and knowing your body. Orgasms are suggested for.
Trust me, that conversation was not had in my house, and I did not have that conversation with my daughter as well. So,
well, hey, she's still your daughter. Have that conversation, because when she's married and about to have a baby, these things are necessary. Orgasms during pregnancy, when they're getting the Braxton Hicks orgasm, and it realigns and realigns the body to say, okay, this is not ready, this is not true pain, but makes it less intrusive on the body for Braxton Hicks, for contractions as well. You ask your gyno, they'll tell you, yes, orgasms will help with your cramps. Let's see, VAWRE. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say that. 7, mine either, but we know better. We will do better. Awesome.
That's right.
Hey, the more you know, the more you go. So, my go-to for any type of pain, you have a migraine, you have insomnia, orgasm. Have an orgasm. It is easy. You don't have to tell nobody you did it. Try it. You won't be sorry. I promise you. And if you need something to help you with that, I got you covered as well.
Got your back.
I can get you something that'll get you there in T-minus 2 seconds. So, just talk to me. But yes, orgasms are a pivotal part of your life as a woman. People say that, oh, you're so strong. You're so strong. We're strong because we didn't know that we had to be strong through all this. We're trying to go to work and cramping and bleeding and irritated, and now
we just endure every month. That was the word. Women have endurance. That's what I tell my daughter. That's why we have the kids. We're amazing.
We do not have to endure. It is not this. It should not be this hard, and it absolutely does not have to be this hard. The more you know about your body, how it works, how it functions, what fires off when you do certain things. I'm sure, you had an attraction to somebody and the next day was like, I don't even like him. He not my type. Why did I cost that man? Well, it may be because you were ovulating and you were just picking the first man available. So,
okay. Make me feel better about some of the choices I've made in my life.
It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your
I know it.
Whatever you name your hoo-ha, she made you do it. It wasn't you. She made you do it. I forgive you. It's your right to be forgiven. It's your right to be forgiven. So if you're feeling a little bit twinge before you go on a date, save your life, save your future. Orgasm, masturbate, Masturbate. It is not a nasty word. It is not a damning word. Masturbation should be a part of a woman's life just like it is for a man. Anytime that he needs to de-stress, it's
I
nothing for
agree
him to
with that statement. Don't play yourself, ladies.
right. Don't go get you some lube, your favorite toy, your favorite finger,
You can't
you know.
properly teach if you don't know about your body yourself. And I can say
Exactly.
from experience that there was a whole lot of things that I was doing when I was young, and I had no clue that I was cheating myself. There were so many things I was missing out on. So
Exactly.
get to know
Exactly. Thank you
yourself,
for following
ladies.
VAWRE7. I wish I knew how to pronounce your name. I appreciate you following. Again, if you're listening in Twitch or Facebook, come on over to Twitch and follow, like, share. There are amazing DJs and talk show hosts in this Twitch space. And we love to talk and have community with each other, make a new friend across the world. You never know. But thank you guys for listening. I love my lurkers. Thank you guys for lurking. Come back and lurk again and some more. But you'll make more friends if you say hello to us. But please do like, share, and comment. All right. So let's see. We did the cramps. What else? What else? What else? We did the cramps. We did the acne. Oh, we didn't really discuss what to do about acne. So that acne, yeah, you can pop it. It's still going to come back your next month. So
Mhm.
it's like that reoccurring friend. She's always going to come back. You could pop it, or you could just wait till your cycle's over and she'll go away. Me myself, I find pleasure in the pimple popping. Yes, I follow Dr. Popper, and I am a popaholic. So yeah, if you want me to pop it, I'll pop that too. But yes, you can for relief from it, so it don't get so big. You can use your favorite facial cleanser. Just make sure your face is clean, or that spot, because you get acne on your body as well as on your face. But most PMS like to announce itself and present itself right here or here, where it's, they're like, yeah, I'm on, watch out for me because I'm on my cycle, they're there, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, that part. We did the swollen breast. That's where you would use your hand warmer to alleviate the tension, because your breasts are getting ready to have a baby, and they're starting to fill up with the prenatal fluid. So you just want to take your hand warmer and massage it. It will still be gentle and tender to the touch. Um, so don't wear really really tight bras or tight shirts that would irritate it. You can also use the pads, the nursing pads. That'll give you some extra protection from irritation within your bra. Um, so let's see, what else do we have? I told you migraines. I told you for migraines. Oh, also, I know you said, Deborah, that you said Tylenol, that you take Tylenol for pain. But PMS, the medicine that is strictly for premenstrual women, it's chemically derived with an equal layer of testosterone, serotonin, to combat your rising levels. So it is a negative effect on what's happening in your body. But give you some PMS, some actual pills that say PMS, along with your pads. You want to
Yeah,
keep
don't
it
be like me. Do better.
you want to keep it near and dear to you, because sometimes Tylenol doesn't work, Advil doesn't work, but decreasing those hormones in your body that's causing the effect will work all the time. I live by the the PMS. When my niece came on her cycle, I gave her a gift bag, a coming to woman basket that had all of the things in. She had 2 bottles of PMS. When you feeling some kind of way, pop this pill, and it'll help alleviate the pain and irritation that you're being caused. And understand that that's a part of sitting with yourself and saying, hey, I am on my menstrual cycle, and I want to recognize that I'm on my menstrual cycle, I'm feeling some kind of way. Okay, get to know yourself. Bloating, you don't want to eat a lot of salty foods, a lot of fried foods. You can reduce your water intake, but it's suggested that you increase your water intake to make sure that your body is flushing out those hormones that are keeping you hormonal. So it's kind of like a clutch 22. You're going to feel bloated. It's okay. It'll go away once you're off your cycle. You're
It's
not
part of
bloated.
the course.
Exactly.
We learn to adjust. Don't we?
Movement, a regular bowel movement. For constipation, you can do things like apple juice, pear juice, prune juice, anything fibrous. You also want to drink cranberry juice, which helps with your vagina's pH balance. And you know how they say pineapples? You can drink the pineapple juice. That helps with your body's pH balance and regulating it. So you want to also keep watching that during your menstrual cycle to make sure that that's not thrown off. What else do we say?
Probiotics are your friend.
Yes, probiotics and prebiotics, yogurt, your friend, your
More
friend.
than you know.
Yes,
They
and
help with the smell of your vagina.
right.
So
And if you need something, vaginal washes, I have that as well. Message me.
you got vaginal washes?
Yes, I
Let's
do.
talk about that for a second.
Okay. We have a Refresh and Renew through Bedroom Candy. We have a Refresh and Renew. It's chemically derived for the vaginal area only. So it's not going to irritate. It's vegan based. It's not going to irritate. It doesn't suzz and it doesn't sting. I don't know. Like I remember when I first started washing myself, I had put soap down there and it was terrible.
Mhm.
I was like, the JJ, she is burning. I don't know what you did. She's burning.
I think many of us can relate to that story.
Right. She's just like, oh, just watch the outside. And that's very critical information because your vagina is a self-cleaning, self-sustaining organ. It's the cleanliest part of your body. It takes care of itself. It doesn't need help. So douching is bad. Do not douche. Do not shove anything up your vagina that you would put on your face. Apple cider vinegar. Your vagina is very acidic, so it doesn't need extra acid. It'll cleanse itself. You just got to make sure that what you're putting in your body is what's coming out. If you're having, smells down there, think about what you did before you got that smell and what you're doing after. It's most times something you're eating, how many sex partners you're having, how much activity is down there, and your clothing. So too tight clothing, of course, will cause yeast infections. Different types of materials will cause yeast infections, which will cause smells. So you do want to watch what you're putting in your body and on your body and make sure that it is safe for you to use on your personal area. Okay. What are we talking about? Oh, how much time we got? Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure we get through these. It's a lot of information, and I just want to make sure that it is out there in the universe for those who don't know. Okay, headaches. I told you masturbation. The PMS. Also, if you smell what is it? Peppermint. Some hot water, really hot water. Drop a couple of drops in the hot water. And that peppermint will alleviate the pain in your head. If it's a migraine, it'll alleviate your pain in your head and cause a relaxation so that you can continue your day or go to sleep or what have you. Peppermint is a wonder drug. Well, not even a drug, a wonder oil that's natural, all natural.
And I found that it works well for nausea.
Yes, as well as stuffy noses now. Because when I get stuffy nose, one sniff.
Allergies, because mine are killing me today.
Yes. Hey, get you some peppermint. It'll save your whole day. You'll be like, dang, why didn't I do this sooner? For the mood swing, You want to recognize that you are having those mood swings. You want to discuss that with either your mate, your family members, because the point of getting through the mood is realizing you have a mood and talking to someone about the mood, so that they're not reacting to your mood and they're reacting with you in your mood, if that makes sense.
Right. I think one thing I appreciated about what Black Tie said is that he actually took the time to understand the women that he is around. And I think that, and I mean, and even in my situation with my daughter, when she's in that space, I try to be more understanding instead of taking that mom stand and
Right.
and because been there, done that. I know how you're feeling. So, to just not, get combative about it, just be understanding of one another.
Yes, that is a pivotal point, and within any dialect, being able to talk, being able to talk through, without someone getting offended or offensive, because you already in your feelings. You don't really love me, you don't really like me, I don't even know why you fooling with me, but that's not you. It's your vulnerabilities come out. You watching a Lifetime movie and you crying like a baby. It's just that moment in your life. It's not who you are. It's what's happening to you at that moment. And just if you're able to recognize that, you're able to move forward with your day and with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so knowing yourself is key. It's very, very key. If you know your cycle of what cycle you're in for menstrual and who you are normally, then you'll be really able to say, why did I? Because I've caught myself, like I don't have cycles, but I do still get premenstrual because
Mm-hmm.
I'm on birth control, and I still get premenstrual, and I do have those moments where I'm like, okay, it must be that time of the month again, and this is the time that I'm about to be really, really angry because I'm looking at everybody like, what you done?
Mm-hmm.
Something. I don't like you. Now I'm just gonna go in my bed and go in my room, go to sleep. Leave me alone. So that's not who you are, because that's not who I am
Mm-hmm.
ever, except for that time of the month. I have to say, you know what? Let me talk myself down. Why are you tripping? Come on, why are you tripping? That's
Melissa,
right. You have this
relax,
guilt.
relate, release.
That's not right. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have done that. That's when you need to listen. Have those conversations with yourself. Have those conversations with your mate, with your family. Hey, I'm feeling some kind of way. I don't even
Mhm.
understand why. And it's okay to not understand why you're feeling some kind of way.
Right.
You're entitled to your emotions and your feelings. If you're sitting in front of the TV and you're crying at the Snicker commercial, oh, it's so nice. He came back and brought her Snicker. Oh, it's so wonderful. Oh God, I don't know why I'm in tears. It's okay.
Everybody, you are entitled to your emotions no matter what it is. That's
Right. No
very
matter what.
important to be
Exactly.
heard and understood.
Exactly. Okay, so I think I talked about the 4 stages. So let me give you the 4 stages of the menstrual cycle. I'm gonna read the technical, and then we're gonna dissect it. The first one is the mince phase. This phase, which typically lasts from day 1 to day 5, is the time the lining of the uterus is actually shed out through the vagina if pregnancy has not occurred. Most women bleed for 3 to 5 days, but a period lasting only 2 days to as many as 7 days is still considered normal. That's phase one, the mince phase. Now, I think these phases kind of run into each other, because I call this the last stage. Honestly, I call this the last stage of that premenstrual cycle, because this is when you are actually menstrual, and when your body is dispelling everything that's in you, and you're feeling some type of way, because it's kind of like, oh, I didn't get that egg, fertilized. I'm feeling, I don't know, like I just smoked the whole doobie and, I'm just feeling this way. I don't know why to tell you, but this happened. It happened. It did not happen. So I say that this would be stage 4 of the 4 stage, but they say it's 1. So we're going to go with, it's kind of like which came first, the egg or the chicken. So I think this was the chicken, but okay, we'll go with what they say. Stage 2 is the follicular phase. This phase typically takes place from day 6 to 14. During this time, the level of hormone estrogen rises, which causes the lining of the uterus to grow and thicken. In addition, another hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, causes follicles in the ovaries to grow. During days 10 through 14, uh, uh, 10 through 14, one of the developing follicles will form a fully mature egg or ovum. Okay. So this your 2 weeks after your cycling. This is when you're you. This is when you get to know yourself because there's no hormones, there's no mad hormones saying, hey, you just caused me to dump this egg. I'm mad at you. Now we're in the makeup stage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the honeymoon stage, I call the follicle phase. When your body is saying, okay, I'm gonna give you another try. I'm gonna give you a whole nother egg, and you're going to put it in here, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it fertilized, and then we're gonna produce a whole baby. This is also the time when Black Tie has said about women with the thyroids. This is also the time that thyroids are starting to form because those thyroids are literally sex suckers. I call them sex suckers. Thyroids are sex suckers. But when your body is producing hormones that they're waiting for the egg to be fertilized, the thyroids are what feeds the egg. Those thyroids grow because there's no sexual activity. There's no serotonin coming. There's no dopamines coming that are causing them to eat on those. So they attach to the uterine wall and commence to growing because they're producing a whole egg that is there to be fertilized. But over time, your body starts producing more. So those, if a woman has thyroids and she gets pregnant, her thyroids normally decrease in size greatly because now that egg is now it has been fertilized and it's getting the things that it needs to grow, which is in those thyroids. And that's why, you have a thyroid burst and it's very painful. Kind of the same concept. I call it the angry womb. Okay. So that's the fallacies phase. You have any questions? No. Cool. All right. So we're in the 3rd stage, which is ovulation. This is the horny stage. You got the egg up in there, girl. The ovaries, I'm like, yes, here we go. We're ready to rock it and roll. All right, you're in ovulation. This phase occurs roughly about 14 roughly about day 14 in a 28-day menstrual cycle. A sudden increase in another hormone, which is your serotonin. They keep saying another hormone, causes the ovary to release its egg. This event is called ovulation. So your egg has been released from the ovaries and it's heading down that uterine canal, headed to the uterus to sit there and shine like a diamond, waiting on its male counterpart to come and make it a whole baby. It happens day 1, day 2, day 3, and he ain't got nothing. This is when your hormones are flying, your dopamine's off the chart. You're attracted to everything and anything that ain't nailed down. You be like, ooh, that knob look real good. You are ovulating. You're in the height of your ovulation. Your egg is telling you, fertilize me now. And it's not happening. So it's pushing hormones to you, saying, yeah, that JJ, she wet, she ready. But you said no. You're not getting fertilized today. No, no. So you enter the fourth stage of your cycle, in which that fourth stage is the luteal phase. Now, this is the stage where I believe the angry starts. It's not angry yet. It's mad. It's just mad because, they said stage one is when you're no longer mad. Well, stage one is the first cycle. So that's why I say that, the first cycle should be the fourth cycle, but it repeats itself on a loop. Okay. So the luteal phase, this phase lasts from about 15 to 28 days after the egg is released from the ovary, and it begins to travel through the fallopian tubes to the uterus. She ready. She ready. She ready to, she or he is ready to be, taken care of and warmed and loved and caressed too. And it's up to you to produce whatever happens. Okay. Let me finish reading. I'm sorry. Begins to travel through the fallopian tubes to the uterus. The level of the hormone progesterone rises to help prepare the uterine lining for pregnancy. If the egg becomes fertilized by a sperm and it attaches itself to the uterine wall, the woman becomes pregnant. If pregnancy does not occur, estrogen and progesterone levels drop and the thickening lining of the uterus is shed during the menstrual period. And which we're back to phase one, the angry moment. So that's where, your phases. So I've read you the technical terms and I've given you my terms, so you can kind of decipher where you're at in those cycles. And when you're in those cycles, you can basically get to know yourself. Well, in this cycle, I know I'm going to be very, very angry at everybody. Let me warn people. Hey, I'm premenstrual today. Don't fuck with me.
Right.
I'm not responsible for what comes out my mouth or what happens. I might hit you upside the head and then hug you and cry because, I'm emotional. They be like, men be like, oh, she's bipolar. No, she's menstrual. She's menstrual. Give her
And
space.
it's the thing.
Right. Moni 1677 say I do this. See, I know I did too.
Yeah.
So just know your body, know where you're at in your cycle, because your cycle repeats on a monthly basis for the rest of your life until you hit menopause. But that's another show. We'll talk about that later.
Another beast. Mm-hmm.
That's another beast. Women, we go through a lot to be women. We go through a absolute lot to be a woman, and most of it we have no clue. No, we go to doctors. I don't know about you. It was hard for me to find an OB that was a woman. And I didn't understand that concept. Why are women not studying women body parts? Why? Why are we not? I don't want a man down there. I want a woman down there because you got the same parts I got, so you can help me and tell me more about my body. I don't want a man telling me about my body. It's my body. If we got the same items, I think you would be more amped to tell me about the car you possess versus the car you drive. Okay. So that's just my thinking. You don't have to stick with that. Maybe that's my bias. I'm kind of biased to who I allow to see my goodies and help me with my goodies. Because not me and my OB, we like this, so. And it just helps that she's a woman. She understands. Hey.
Yeah, she can relate.
Right. And I tell her things that she didn't know, because they're not savvy on sex topics, but, we be talking. We be talking. Yeah. My OB visit is just like me going to visit a friend, except for she down between my legs and not in a good way. I won't digress. So, your 4 cycles, know where your cycle is. So, if you're, overly hormonal, then you protect yourself, because at the end of the day, it's your life and it's your choice. You as a woman present the object, which is your egg, in order for that man to be able to put his sperm in and spermicide and I mean not spermicide. What am I saying? To fertilize that egg. So you produce the egg, he produces the sperm, and then we produce a baby. But if you're going on a date with somebody you don't want to produce a baby with, and you are in your cycle 3, you might want to check yourself. Like I said, always have you a good vibe. If you need one, I got you. If you need some help using it, I can walk you through it. I'm a strong believer and proponent for masturbation. I believe every woman should masturbate. I believe every woman should be taught to masturbate from the time that they are 12 or when they start menstruating, because it'll save your life on a number of scales, and it doesn't make you a hoe. Just saying. Um, you know, like Dr. Guy says, hoes be winning. And that's because they know what they're doing. That's why they
okay.
okay.
If I had only charged back then.
Right. Oh, the money you could have made. The money you could have made. So let's see. What have we covered? We've covered the 4 cycles. We've covered what to do to help with your symptoms. You got anything else to add, Miss Ed?
No.
You good? All
I'm
right.
laughing. Is that Moni A 1677? I was laughing at her.
Somebody listen. I'm glad you were enjoying the talk, Moni. Remember to like, share, and follow. I appreciate all of my streamers. I appreciate all of my DJs. If you're new to Twitch, this is an awesome platform for you to meet a new friend across the country, to get your thoughts out, to listen and hear some awesome DJs. They're 24/7. I mean, it's like having a DJ in your pocket. You're having a party, go to Twitch, find you a DJ. You don't need to have Amazon Music or Apple Music or YouTube. Go to Twitch, find you a DJ that you really like, follow and share his posts, and there you go. If you need to get some off your chest, find a streamer. We talk to everybody. We don't judge. It's not even in our profile.
Nope.
Please follow and like. For everyone in the comments, please follow and like. We build a community when we do this. And I'm Love's Passion. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I appreciate those who followed. I appreciate those who liked, as well as comment. We are this chat topic. This channel is for sex positive education, as well as talks. We talk to everyday people about everyday conversations that are not being had about sex, sexuality, and life, as well as love. We will be back here next Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time, like clockwork. If you want to know when we're coming, just hit the like and subscribe to get notifications when we come on. We appreciate you guys being here.
I do have a Twitch question though before we go, because I'm new to Twitch. What are these cheer points?
Oh, so in the chat, you can as you're listening, you gain cheer points. In the chat that in the channel that you are in, each channel you'll gain cheer points, and you can use the emojis from that channel or other channels that you listen to and follow to put in the chat. And it's just a way of communicating where you don't have to put emojis, but we all have our specific icons and emotes that you can put into a chat. You can use them for the DJ streaming. I'm not the tech savvy. Some of them have them going and rolling on the screen, have your face come. I'm trying to get there right now. We're happy to be done started 11 minutes late instead of an hour. So I'm new to Twitch, but as I find out, I surely will let you, and we'll continue on with this momentum. But if you want to cheer, click on that little head and go ahead, cheer your little heart out. You have cheer points for as long as you listen. I believe it starts at 300. I'm not quite sure, but I think it starts at 300. You can highlight your messages. So there's different things that you can do in the chat. It's just an engagement piece. We like to talk. We like to support. We like to cheer. We like to show up and show out. Got any more questions?
Nope.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our topic for today. I am Love's Passion, and this is Deb, our awesome and amazing co host. Oh, wait. We have not talked about the WAP.
The what?
The WAP.
Oh,
We have not. I can't believe I let that slip my mind. So,
I was wondering if you were going to talk about it or not. I was supposed to
yes.
see you this week.
Oh, yes, you were.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do that. We need to do that like ASAP. ASAP
Okay.
Rocky. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, we are having a WAP Expo. It's Women and Pleasure Expo. It's going to be something that you've never seen again. I'm just going to tell you, my name is Love's Passion, and I specialize in sex positive talk and sexuality. So it is streamed and geared towards getting to know your body better and getting to know the body of the woman. So men are welcome, women are welcome as well. We'll have more information to follow up on the WAP Expo. You heard it here first. And I'm so happy that you stayed and joined to hear this topic, to hear this announcement, because this is going to be show stopping and
Yes.
amazing and nothing you've seen before. So tune in next Sunday. We'll have more information at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that's Twitch. And I am Love's Passion. This is Deb. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, everybody, so much.